Bonjour, this is Jasmine. Thank you so much for stopping to smell the roses on Rue Madame. For those of you who are new to the neighborhood, I am a writer, a storyteller, and a community builder. I write about culture, politics, parenthood, and my life here in France. And recently, I am an author of a children's book. Excited about that. It's available on Blurb. The title is Joelle Confronts the Weather with What's in the Cupboard. And my wonderful husband, John Paul, is the illustrator of that. So it was a team project that I'm super proud of. Check that out. This video is just a quick video on what a Saturday looks like for myself and our family. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. I'm so happy that the work day or the work week is over. As you know, this is my day job. But as far as my husband is concerned, he's not technically going back and forth on the public transportation, and he's not like concentrating on the screen even when he's here. So my weekend is kind of like our weekend. So that's why I'm happy it's the weekend, because do you hear that? It's peace. Peace and quiet. So that's why I love the weekends, because my husband gets to absorb our kids and take them out and have their time together because I'm with them like a lot. Yeah. So I just want to tell you a little more about our lives, since that's what the channel is about, my life here in France. My Saturday looks like a lot of stuff crammed into one. So we do our shopping on Saturday. We do our arts and crafts on Saturday. Well, that's every day, but one arts and crafts project that we're doing, or my husband is doing with our kids, is the planets. He's taken an old canvas that was once dedicated to something he drew. I think it was a cartoon or a video game character. And he helped the kids paint it out blue and black and put some little, it's not finished yet. So that's what we're going to continue today when they get back. So that's the type of stuff that we do. Again, we don't have a television. We don't have a lot of the normal technology that a lot of parents occupy their kids with. Nothing wrong with that. But we have to be very, very creative. So this is an example of what we do with our kids, a little art, since my husband is an artist. This, I don't know if anybody asked me what this is. This is a canvas or a art piece that I saw. I know this is off the topic, but I was coming home from work one day. This is right after I had my kid, maybe a couple months after he was born. And I had just gotten back to work because we have 3 months off here, paid maternity in France. And I was I was about to head to pick up a train and go back home. It was late at night, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I saw a man. He had two art pieces in his hand. I was like, oh, those are so cute. My son, it reminded me of my son. I'm like, oh my God, that is my little baby that I have at home. I have to get. So I asked the guy. He had long dreads. He's an artsy kind of guy. He had a trench coat. His name was Musa. Really good. I kept in contact with him. And he's an artist. And he was an artist that's between Paris and London. And I was like, oh, I love that. Is it for sale? And he was like, yeah, lovely. What do you want to buy? How much do you want to pay for it? It's whatever you have to offer. That's what it'll be for. So I just gave him a couple bucks. And yeah, this is the art piece that reminded me of my son at the time. And I love it. It's really cute and bright and it like livens up. So that's the story behind that. But on to our day. Saturday is art day and grocery day and family day. So I'm going to give you a couple of our grocery list, as you will, of what we buy in France. So let me show you a little bit of that. This is where we shop, Marché Frais, and let me show you the fresh fruits and vegetables we get. Our grocery list consists of 50% fruits and vegetables. And to be honest, when I first came here 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago, I wasn't really a vegetable person. I don't like vegetables, and that's because I'm difficult and I don't like a lot of textures that are funky or too whatever. But I've learned to eat vegetables and appreciate vegetables and put that in my diet as much as possible. And even if I don't like a particular vegetables like green peppers or red peppers, I can appreciate them with other foods and other vegetables. So I'm not that picky, even though I still don't eat the Brussels sprouts and the really outrageous, funky vegetables. But yeah, that is 50% fruits and vegetables. I'm a very big fruit person. Thank you to my mother. Love fruits. I've learned a lot of new fruits I've never even heard of when I was in the States. But maybe that's because I really just stick to the basics, to the apples, bananas, and pears. But they have like lychees and um, the passion fruit type. And what else? Just a lot of different fruits that I've never seen. And that a lot of it comes out of Martinique, which is an island, and a French island, and a lot of other vegetables from the hot countries in Europe, actually, like Spain or Portugal, etc. So that's really cool. And the other 50% is 25% meats and fish, and 25% starches like rice and other starches like potatoes, etc. Right next door, we get our bread, so that's what I'm gonna get next. Bread, cheese, and wine are sacred in France, so we go to a special boulangerie or bakery that's right next door, and this is where we get our bread. I'm going to order a special bread with fig and another bread with nuts. Although it looks very, very tempting to get the special cakes with strawberries on them or other specialty pastries, we just stick to bread for the most part, or croissants, or because it could get really, out of control otherwise.
Bonjour. Je prends un pain aux figues et un pain au noir, s'il vous plaît.
Store, there is an organic store that we hit up next after the marché frais and the boulangerie. So I'll show you that. At this store, we get our starches, our pastas, rice, we get our sauces, and my husband likes to get his special oat cereal and milk here. So yeah, this is naturel. So that is what we buy. So not a lot. We spend maybe $100 every week on groceries. So I don't know if that's expensive or not. I don't have a comparison really because I don't remember shopping that much and stays just for this and that. But as a family of four, $100 a week, $100 to $150. I don't know. Tell me if that's reasonable. I don't know. But the place that we go is kind of tucked. It's not tucked away, but it's not in our specific neighborhood because we have plenty of grocery stores in our neighborhood that we can actually go to. They're close in proximity, some are in walking distance, but we choose this grocery store specifically because of the quality of the products. It's just, I guess we spend a little bit more for, that steak or the meat or the fish that's just a better grade of food. And so, yeah, that's our grocery list, and that's what we do every week. And we get our bread. And yeah, so that's that. My husband, he's actually going semi or part time vegetarian, if that's a thing. Well, at night, he's choosing to cut out meat after a certain time. So for dinner, no meat, but for lunch, he'll have, whatever we're having. I don't know if I'm there yet. I get it because, he's letting his body kind of calm down and not have to digest so much meat and that heavy content at night. So in the morning he's refreshed and he, eats his breakfast and then he can have. And I think what he said was his body is just like changing and like trying, kind of rejecting certain ailments or elements. Aliment. It's French. I don't know. I mix my French and English sometimes. Sorry. But this is not the first time I heard of people doing that as they get older. Some meats or some foods, it just doesn't appeal to them anymore. I have an aunt that doesn't eat meat anymore, and she was a meat eater all of her life. I don't even think it had anything to do with like loving animals or not, wanting to kill animals or anything, which is a good thing too. I mean, I guess. But it was just like her body just being more mature, and she's getting up in age, and she's just I don't know, but she still eats fish and seafood and things like that. And I think that's where my husband is headed to. Like even like alcohol, we'll drink wine with dinner or with cheese or a dessert or something like that. And even that, he's kind of like um his body is just not taking it like he once did, and he's working out more. And it's just like, I guess this is just like another phase or another like evolution of his diet, and I respect that so much. And it actually brought our bill down if we're not drinking as much alcohol or as much meat. That's great for our grocery bill or our grocery budget, so that's awesome. And I'm actually like tailing behind him. I'm not there yet. I'm lagging behind. But I think one day we'll both be on the same page where we're not eating meat at night. And his parents have a large part in that, I think, because they're already not eating meat at night and they're very health conscious. And I think that's great. But me, I have a long ways to go. So that is probably the half or the good chunk of our morning: grocery shopping and artsy stuff. Like this morning, I'm teaching my son the parts of the body. So he knows his parts of the body, but now we're in the organs. So he's learning his heart, what it does, his lungs, what it does, etc., etc. I'll show you a bit of that.
Look at me. S
So this is the final product of what we've done. I don't know if you can see that. The brain, and I'll like write something and I'll tell him to try to replicate what I do or what I write, or he'll see what's already written here. And he'll just, so he's learning his spelling, his organs, and things like that. He doesn't know all the functions yet, but he knows the major parts, which I'm really impressed because we've been doing this. I'll show another one we did. And repetition is very, very important. So we've been doing this for the last week or so. And he really like sucks it all in. We've done other things and he gets the color, and he likes to be very neat, and he's getting neater and neater as he goes along, and he's just having fun with it. And he actually asked me, "Yeah, Mama, I want to do the anatomy," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do that." So I guess things like this is like our everyday thing, but on Saturday, I guess since we're all together, and he gets to do things like this with his dad, and so yeah, this is our dedicated day for just cramming in this quality time. And by no means is it easy or quiet. It can be very, very hectic with a 2-year old, because she gets in too and she likes to. I'll show you a bit of her art. It's a lot of scribble scrabble, but I try to get her into it too. She has her own artistic, touches. A lot of scribbling, which is, so yeah, that is another part of our day. And we have our naps. I try to get a nap in too, but very hard with them because I still feel like they're going to be up soon, and I just can't, simmer down long enough to get a nap in. But I do uh, rest a lot of the day. And if we're not in the house doing that, we all like to go biking. I do have my self care days where I bike by myself, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I'll just go on my trail and go up the hills or go in the park or go in the forest. And it's really relaxing, it's soothing, and I get a lot of workout in that way as well. Just my me time. But we go as a family often as well. And what else do we do? But if we're not doing any of that stuff on our Saturday, they're off seeing their grandparents, which is kind of rare nowadays since the pandemic and things like that. Right now, my son is out of school. Every 6 weeks in France, there's a holiday where kids are like off for 2 weeks. So, yeah, this is one of those times, and my kids go to their grandparents' house, and that's probably one of the big bummers of living in France and being here without my family, is that they don't have their other half to get to know, and with the exception of Skype and Zoom and FaceTime, etc. So yeah, that is our Saturday in a nutshell. It's not that eventful, maybe boring to people that, have a more adventurous life, but that's our day. Art, outdoors, running errands, and quality time. And yeah, so if you want to know more about my life here in France, more about our kids, um, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. So thank you guys for joining me again on this session. Check back in because we're going to have another family cooking session because we do cook together as well. So yeah, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.